Hey guys, so I mean, let's start. I think Alex is coming shortly. I'll give you one microphone here so you can share with that. So, tell us a little bit about, very quickly, just a small round of, what brought you here and why are you so interested and passionate about blockchain?
What language should we use? Russian
English.
Okay, so
Strictly.
hi guys. Nice to meet you. My name is Artem Tolkachev. I'm head of legal for tech group in Deloitte. So I'm working with cryptocurrencies for 4 years already and interested in legal support of ICOs and cryptocurrencies and blockchain-based businesses. So it's very interesting technology and very interesting issues around this technology for me as a lawyer. So I'm excited about new economy and new business models that appears with this technology. So it's very interesting to be a part of this community and help businesses to implement this technology into their business models. So nice to meet you,
Yeah.
Artem.
Thank you.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Sergey, Sholom, the VP Business Development, GameCredits, and Mobile Go. Happy to see all of you here. Well, my passion is gaming. I'm from gaming industry, and thanks to blockchain, I know how exactly I'm going to change this industry together with our exciting team. And this is all of my passion. So there are many people in blockchain industry talking and let's say more imagining how they can change the world. We are doing it, and I'm very proud of it. Thank you.
What's your favorite game?
My favorite game?
Yes.
The new one upcoming, Pixel Wars. You will see it this summer and enjoy it.
Okay, so your favorite game is the one that's not out yet.
Yes.
That's interesting. Okay.
My name is Paolo Tasca. As I said before, I'm an economist from University College London. I was from the other side of the river a few years ago. I was a central banker, and now I'm embracing the blockchain community with all my energy. I'm here because I think that Russia, together with other countries like China, are really committed to this new digital transformation of our society at large. And I'm here to learn from bright minds like you.
This is not working.
That's working. Yeah, you can
It can.
pass on the microphone
Hello.
to.
Yeah, my name is Mika Lammi. I also actually have a history in gaming industry. I used to work for 6 years in developing the Finnish education framework for games industry. What I loved about that was the mix of creativity and technology. And I think it's the same thing that draws me to the blockchain, because I can see so many similar conjunctions going on. Like, how do you really going to change the world with a technology that is absolutely beautiful and elegant? It takes a lot of creativity. So that's basically where I'm coming from.
Thank you. I'm Alexander Ivanov, Wavesplatform founder. So we are focusing on a platform that allows you to create blockchain tokens easily, and very many people are doing ICOs now. And for example, Sergey Sholom is a very modest guy. He did not mention that his project raised $53 million. This is the biggest ICO in history.
Woo!
Guys.
Let's get a warm round of applause for the
Yeah.
biggest ICO.
So probably he'll tell us about it a little bit more. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to create some stable open blockchain solution for real world economy and change the world economy along the way. I think it's possible now, and that's what we are doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I was just told we have one more panelist joining us, so we don't have an empty seat over there. So come in and join. We already heard you speak. So take a seat. One thing that's interesting for me is, like, what does blockchain mean to you guys as a technology? And feel free to jump in and interact between each other and hopefully fight and completely disagree and, try to kill each other in the process. That will be fun. So, tell us, what is it as a technology for you? Who wants to start? Who's the brave one?
I mean, what is the value of the technology, or what do you mean?
No, like, what does it mean to you? Like, blockchain as a technology, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's something that changes the paradigm of technical development of humanity completely. Because humanity has a history of technical development that has been centralized for like 5,000 years. It was centralized systems all the way. So you had some like control center that controlled the whole process, and it was a very clear structure. You have some head that controls the whole body, and this paradigm changes everything. So we are living in a new era of decentralization, when you can understand that technologies like this are possible. There can be technologies that are independent of anything. They exist like objectively. So this is a new paradigm. It can change everything.
We have Mika there. Tell us what do you want to interrupt there.
It's basically what he said, plus blockchain means that there are no more excuses. You really can't say that, no, we're going to do it the old way because the old way works better. Blockchain makes things possible that weren't possible yesterday. So it means there is no excuse anymore to go forward. It forces us to go forward and do things in a smarter way.
Let me add this. So I fully agree with my friends here. I would like to add something more. So the next money is not anymore cash, but is our data, is our identity. Our data, our identities, our informations is our oil of the future. So we have now a technology which allow us to keep in control of our data or our identity, and we can decide whether we want to share and what we want to share with whom. That's, I think, the future perspective of technology, or blockchain technology.
So we agreed on everything that was said before. So for me, blockchain is a technology that could disrupt a lot of business models and a lot of regulation models, because, as I said, I'm a lawyer, and it was very interesting, and it is very interesting for me to see how much the law and regulation changed with the disruption of this technology. And also, as I said, agree with all that was previously said. Would you like to add something?
Well,
No?
you know what? That was an easy one, guys. So I'm going to throw you a much more complicated one. Right now, we talk a lot about cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. Do you think blockchain can remove the need for currencies completely? Yes or no? And why?
Do you mind if the representative from the bank will answer this question?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So the idea of the value web is the next point, next definition that you could be reach out of your conclusion or the question. The value web is, I think, the next evolution of the fintech. So what's the idea of the value web? The value web is the idea is that there is an equivalent of value inside the blockchain, which is not equivalent to the money. Yeah, so there should be some providers who will verify the real value asset which exists. I mean, physical assets which is on off-chain, that could be go on the low side. Then there is a simple story on-chain side. So the value could be denominated by some different currencies, values, etc. And it's not exactly the currency and in itself. So this is the value in itself. But to define this value and to use this value in economy, there should be some, I would say, agreement between the parties on the B2B side, because the value could be used only for the businesses.
So you think it could work?
For sure, but the businesses, I mean, the parties inside of consortium, association, etc., should be agreed that this value can be used. For example, I'm issuing the shares. The shares could be nominated with different currencies, or either I saw the idea of ICO for X, like the birds, etc., or like corn. So where is the middle point that the shares could be nominated by the corn? Yeah, I mean, that's the value. That's the whole point, that if you have the link between the value and the asset in off-chain and on-chain side, there is no a necessity to provide the currency, but there is a point that the parties should agree on such an exchange should exist in reality.
So do you guys think, anybody who thinks it's not possible?
Yeah, I think it's possible. Actually, you can return to those schemes, you know, when you had like gold as a currency or some kind of commodity. So they're returning now. For example, you can have a token tied to gold or to some commodity or to some kind of, I don't know. For example, there was a crowdfunding for a farm in Moscow region, and there are tokens backed by eggs and some chickens and stuff like that. So
I want to invest in
yeah,
that.
you know this, probably many people here know this project. So it was pretty cool actually. It was not a real like investment, but it was fun. It was like crowdfunding, and people invested not to make money, but to participate in this unique event. So we could return to this scheme when you back money with different products, for example. So it can be done in a new way on blockchain. So you can probably use many things as money, and I don't know how it works out in reality, but it's possible. And there is also another scheme, it's more technical, when you have some kind of cryptographical token which has a stable value. Many people probably heard about this. It's a stable coin, what's usually. This is the name of this thing. It was attempted in BitShares, as far as I know. It broke down. But the idea was to create some cryptographical token that has some stable value by design. And if it's achievable, I don't know if it can be achieved, but people are trying to do this. That can be revolutionary. So you can have something which is stable, has low volatility, and backed by math, actually, not by some kind of market making. And it's possible, and it's another direction of development here.
And like, so basically what you're saying is you can ICO anything.
Basically, yes, you can tokenize anything. You can tokenize chicken, geese, whatever, eggs, gold, some oil, whatever you want to tokenize. So basically, you can, for example, there are ideas to tokenize illiquid markets. For example, you have some metal markets that are pretty illiquid. For example, cobalt or whatever. So there's an illiquid market, and it can be made liquid. So in a very simple and cheap way, you just issue a token. There is some market maker, gateway, liquidity provider, and you can basically tokenize everything. And then it's a new class of financial instruments which are very easy to issue, to maintain, and you don't need to go through regulatory hurdles because it's more effective. It can be made legal, and you don't have to spend too much money on the infrastructure and on the maintenance.
Well, now we talk about ICOs. I think this is a good kind of introduction to Sergey here, right? So tell us about your ICO and how did you make it so successful?
Actually, I'm starting to receive this question more and more often. I would love to receive
Get used to it. You'll get even more soon.
But I would love to receive it something like about half a year ago when I was visiting a few blockchain conferences explaining from the stage what we're going to do in the future. And almost nobody listened and nobody believed, yes. And when it's there, everybody interested in what is the secret, everybody's asking. And actually the secret is only one. You should do the crowd sale as it is. You should really be focused on the product first of all, and not on money that you're going to raise. Actually, for the success of the product that we're going to deliver, we don't need that amount of money, and that's obvious. This is overpriced ICO, but not because we pushed it somehow or we triggered some secret points. I don't know. No, we did nothing. We did nothing different from. And thank you for this opportunity to tell it loud. We didn't do anything special to achieve all of this. There is only one thing special: is the product, nothing else, and the team and belief of the people that see in here not just. Please, no offense, not just another blockchain-related product or something like finance, etc., but something that can change the world in some industry right away, because there are products, teams, and strategy, etc. So this probably make it successful, the most successful crowd sale ever, and we are very proud of it. What can I say? And definitely the amount of raised funds, it opens let's say, directions where we thought that we will come only after a while. Right now, we're working in so many, and none of them even mentioned in white paper. And we were just thinking that we will come later on. Right now, this year, many things will happen. And
Is it too much money?
Too much money? Of
Is
course.
it too much money?
Well, it depends on what you are going to do with the money. Yes, we are going to spend it only on products, marketing, PR, everything that we.
Because I kind of had this experience, right? I work with a lot of startups, and I always see this thing. And right now, unfortunately, the startup world is such that companies are judged by how much money they raise, and not by how much money they make. Right? The successful companies are, all the ones who raised a lot, valued in billions. Take Uber, for example, right? How much money did they raise? How much money did they make? Minus 2 billion every year. Right? 30 years ago, that would be a really shitty company. Right now, everybody talks about Uber, right? So, and also at the same time, startups that get a lot of money, they start spending it on everything and very inefficiently. So are you afraid of the fact that you have so much money now?
I'm not afraid because in this business, it's all about return on investment. Every single penny that you are going to use should be used to achieve highest return on investment for the business, means for the investors who believed in this idea. So when you have absolutely clear model of how it can be achieved, then any amount of money that is raised is just supporting and multiplying the results faster and bigger, nothing else. And we do not value our company according to the funds that raised. It's not our goal. And believe me, we're already approaching by many VCs and all of this, no interest. We came here to change the world, gaming industry, where I am from for many, many years, and where I know many weak points and many points that will be fixed thanks to our products and thanks to blockchain, what it delivers to us. And well, what can I see? This year will be very exciting and you will see lots of things.
Awesome. Do we have any maybe comments or questions?
Let me add a couple of things to what Sergey said, actually. He said a very nice example of how crowdfunding campaigns should be done. Because they had a very active community, they had a working product, and they were very open, and it's a great example. I'm sure they're going to be a major gaming company, and I don't know how far they can go, I think pretty far. So all future crowd funds should use the Mobile Go's example, because it's kind of perfect, in my opinion.
Thank you, Sasha. Yes, I confirm that we've been investing a lot to get the products, to get the platform, to get the team, to get a clear vision how and what we're doing. And after that, we came to crowd sale, actually just asking community to participate in the future, to help it run more efficiently due to the fact that 50% of the raised funds will be used on marketing, PR, etc., acquiring millions of users worldwide. So we didn't come with an idea like, please guys, here it is our PowerPoint, please help us to develop something. No, it is a huge difference, and maybe this difference also helped us to get this record crowd sale.
Mika?
Yeah, just to comment your huge success and like the reasoning you gave, that it was all about the love of the product and the hard work you put behind that. You're really going to have to invent or make up a secret sauce explanation, because people are never going to be happy with that. They always want the secret sauce. What was the pixie dust you did? So make up something. Say it was a spell cast by a wizard.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't think there was any secret sauce to the success. It's just the right moment. You should actually admit this, that the moment is just right now. Yeah, huge interest in ICOs and a very good working product. And this is a good combination, and the access was achieved through this, actually. No secret, as far as I understand. Maybe there is one, I just don't know about it.
Cool. Yeah, so I also want to find out from you guys, like, again, we're here at this event, and I think it's also about the future, right? I really want to figure out where you think it's going to take you, because again and again, I keep asking kind of the similar questions, but what I'm getting, the answers are about, the same stuff that's happening right now. but I want to hear more about the future, the companies like this or companies like Mika's, right, that are actually doing something different. Like, what do you think is really going to help us go mainstream? What is going to be the future of blockchain? What are some of the coolest examples you've seen that can inspire the audience here?
Well, in terms of going mainstream and being successful in that way as a community or as a concept, you really need to do something. You gotta have this one cool example that is totally mainstream. It's totally invisible to the common user. Like once you can say that I have a product line of blockchain-based, I don't know, refrigerators, and they refrigerate better because of the blockchain. That's when you have gone mainstream enough. Like that's the level that needs to be achieved. As long as we talk about blockchain as it would be the magic pixie dust or secret sauce, we are shooting at the moon, but we are missing. We are shooting below the moon. We need to focus on the business and the business processes and the people, not the blockchain in itself.
Awesome. All right. Hey, I think this is a good time for us to let the audience ask us questions, because I'm sure a lot of you have questions for these guys. So ask them anything and make it tough questions. I want to hear some good answers here. One here, right on the front.
Evgeny, Sergey, the questions to you. I would like to, could you please give us some more details on your pre-ICO company? What was your, how did you make your PR? What was your audience and media coverage? Where did you go besides conferences? And
Thank you, Evgeny. One. Well, again, we didn't do anything special. And the point is GAMECREDITS as a currency exists in more than 3 years already. And definitely GAMECREDITS has its own community, which is pretty big. And it was the first starting point, let's say. Once we've been delivering more and more products, more and more explanations how GAMECREDITS, the currency, is going to be used, what will be the GAMECREDITS mobile store, what will be the Mobile Go crowd sale, and what are the reasons. Explaining it to people, they became by themselves ambassadors of these ideas. Recently, I've been watching so many YouTube videos of people that I don't know, regular people like you and me, just promoting Mobile Go. Like this is the way how the future will be changed. Yes, and believe me, there were no words said about blockchain over there in these YouTube videos. So exactly like you were saying, we do not promote blockchain. We promote the products that are going to improve existing industries because of blockchain inside. Yes, so this is a different approach. Of course, PR has been built upon this, and we do have our mission, as we name it, massive crypto adoption through gaming. This is our mission, this is our key focus, and all our products will have only one goal: to introduce crypto and blockchain to regular people. And by our opinion, there is no better entry point than gaming, because all of us plays games. And we know how to do it right, how to present it right, how to incentivize users to use it, to get introduced, to get curious about what it gives back. And all of this together gave this outstanding result. Nothing special in PR, nothing special in channeling, choosing the PR, etc., etc. Like you saw the banners of Mobile Go at the same places where you can see other banners of other crowd sales. Yeah, so unfortunately, Evgeny, nothing to tell you as a secret source.
Thank you. One question over there. Gentleman in the pink.
Thank you. I am Valentin Preobrazhensky. I'm launching AI Banks, blockchain platform for banks. So banks will be able to sell their assets, their loans to other banks and investors transparent on blockchain. What is the best way to involve blockchain community leaders interested in banks? What kind of conferences they attend or groups? What is the best way to build ecosystem with banking blockchain leaders?
I can take this. So let me go back to the comments we just had. So I think Mobile Go is a fantastic example of what we are going to see in the future, in the near future. We are going to go toward the fourth industrial revolution. We are already indeed, every day. So what does it mean for us? This means that we are part of the game. The community, they are the consumer of the product, but they are also the investors. They are also the promoters. They are what Jeremy Rifkin called prosumers. We are at the same time producers, taking part of the production process, taking part of the success of the company, but they are also the first users. So we are promoting this within the community. So that's the strength, that's our strength, the strength to us. That's the blockchain powerful tool that will enable this success even more in the future. So going to your comments, so finance financial industry is really particular. So is one of the heavily regulated markets in the world, and therefore you need to talk with regulator. It's inevitable. So because they need to buy in your ideas. So when you take, for example, R3, the consortium, basically they have 70+ banks, but they interact very, very, very much with regulators. So they have hundreds of projects. Corda is one of them, but they don't have only Corda. And for each of them, they talk with regulators in order to have a regulatory approval. Otherwise, you will not be basically authorized to operate. And the regulators during the last years are quite accommodating in this respect. So they approach the fintech companies, some startups with the sandbox approach. So they have special programs. They allow them to play in the kindergarten, so they can basically experiment with their products without damaging or having the risk to damaging the markets. And that's, I think, the right approach. So talking to regulators, taking part of those special programs, and educate regulators as well. They need to be educated as well.
This is a very good thing to educate regulators, governments. However, another approach is to find business processes which could be improved dramatically, and then banks will use it because it's profitable for them. We processed more than 1,000 deals without any interaction with the regulator, because banks need marketplace to sell out of their balance loans which they don't like.
Well, in that case, that means you already have the answer, right? You have the product, you go to them, you talk to them, and you sell it to them, right? And you can sell it to them, like, to answer your question, you can sell them at conferences, at events. You know, there's many fintech events. You just Google it, really. There's one pretty much every day in Europe, right?
Well, I can add some points, actually. In fact, there's an association of fintech that organized by the central bank in Russia with major players on the market. So you can just, there's already the website is functioning, so you can take a look on it. There is a Q&A area, so you can get in contact with the press room of the fintech association, and there will be a dialogue established by the fintech association with the players inside this fintech and the regulator. Because all of those points that you mentioned are already on the development cycle now. Because we are taking real cases, and with the regulator, we discuss them, and we improve them with the blockchain. So that's one of the cases. Sure. Blockchain, identity management, and so on.
Right. Thank you very much. Sorry, we need more. We have a chance for other people as well. So yeah, gentleman over there near the camera.
Добрый день, меня зовут Наиль Насыров, портал VIP Life.
I'm Nail Nasira from VIP Life. I'm wondering about the development of cryptocurrency. Do you think that it may lead in the future to total disappearance of cash.
У нас уже был этот вопрос на панели, right?
Нет, тут такого не было вопроса на самом деле, но его
Haven't.
очень часто, не знаю, что происходит.
Right. The difference is that the question was about the cash, right?
The cash,
the actual
yeah,
physical.
the
Sorry,
cash.
my bad. Yes.
Yes, but, но на самом деле, если говорить, наверное, это один из факторов, но он не повлияет.
Indeed, it's one of the factors, but it's not going to result in disappearance of cash. Well, there are several reasons for cash to exist, and people tend to trust financial services. Yeah, but you can do it slowly, right? So the frog won't notice anything. So you can make it really, really convenient. Everybody gets his own ID, and then this will bring about a new world order. Yeah, you can implant CPUs in each and every one. Yeah, but to be serious, there are various users out there. You know, some customers prefer this, others prefer that. Like with a wallet, you know, you can lose your wallet, say electronic wallet, and all your money will be gone. There are also cyber risks that are a clear-cut limitation, constraint. Well, regulators, market players can do something to alleviate those risks. So you don't believe that cash will die. Well, they won't in the foreseeable future. I think that by 2030, I may change my answer. You know, 2030 is beyond the point of singularity. I'm sorry, let's give other people a chance as well.
Question. So, cash is about anonymity. Am I right? Yes, I think everybody agrees that cash is about anonymity. And you can have digital cash which is anonymous. So cash is going to be there in one way or another. At the moment we have Zcash, it's the first really anonymous system, and other systems are going to be there. So cash won't go away because you need anonymous means of payments, and it won't go away. So they're going to be there, and cash is going to be there.
Cool. That makes sense. All right. Let's see if we have one question here. Yes, you have the microphone already. Thank you.
Добрый вечер, меня зовут Алексей.
I'm Alexei. In continuation of the previous question, let me ask you the following. What kind of future or what's your outlook for Bitcoin? Do you think it's still undervalued?
I don't see any takers there.
Let me answer probably. As far as I understand, the current surge in Bitcoin price is related to Bitcoin legitimization in Japan. So this is a great example what happens when a country makes cryptocurrencies legal. You know, the price just skyrockets. So if some other country legitimizes it now, so it will have another push. So I think we are in a different phase, and this is a phase of mass adoption now. So what happened before, very high volatility, you know, dumps and stuff like that, they're going to disappear pretty soon. And I read that there was some calculation that when Bitcoin costs around $4,000, its volatility will be comparable to volatility of major currencies. So, and it can happen pretty soon. So soon we're going to have Bitcoin as a major world currency, and this is inevitable in my opinion, after what Japan has done.
I read the same report, but it was 4,000. I also read the report was 45,000 of the Bitcoin.
All right. Any last comments from you, gentlemen? I think we're going to slightly start wrapping it up and wrap up the event as well. So any last comments from you on the event, or any questions you have to one another, maybe? You can ask a question to other people.
Yeah, let's a little bit. Let's talk for 5 minutes about ICOs and what's going to happen to them, because all the rage is about ICOs now. What do you guys think about the future of ICOs? Are they going to be legitimate, or the governments are going to clamp down on them? What is going to happen? Let's start with Artem, because he's like...
Thank you for this question. For me, for a lawyer, all this stuff, all this ICO stuff is pretty curious situation because companies raising a huge amount of money without any regulation, without any obligations, without any legislation on the side. And of course, a regulator from every country tries to understand what's going on, tries to secure people, because every regulator would like to be sure that when some problems will arise, they will be able to tell that it was illegal, and we said that it's very dangerous. We were saying that it will cause some problems for you. So I think that in the nearest future, this situation with unregulated ICO will be stopped. And as far as I understand, in Europe, in the United States, in Asia, even in Russia, regulator is very actively discussing the situation and tries to implement some measures for preventing unregulated ICO. So I think that the current stage of the market and the technology, when everybody's doing very interesting things, very, I will say, crazy things with raising huge amount of money, it will be ended soon, I think.
Okay. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Small comment from my side. Like you were saying, regulators, they trying to protect people from something bad that could happen. I think that everybody who's going to run ICO should remember that and should be focused only on that. That crowd sale that you're running has a goal to release the products that you're promising and deliver what you've promised to investors. This is a key point. This is a key point for us, and we will deliver. And I hope that this is the same for all the rest who will follow. Regulators will apply the rules or whatever, no doubts about it, but it doesn't mean that something bad will happen and crowd sales will disappear. No, just the same scenario. You should deliver what you promised, and your ideas should work in the future and deliver benefits to those who trusted you. And that's it. For me, this is the simple formula. And when this formula is on the place and you deliver the result, well, regulators will be only happy to see that you do it in the right way.
Let me add something. So I think that innovation never came from regulators. Came from the industry. So it's normal that we are having ICO, and tomorrow we have ICO Cube and so on. So we have a new innovation in every other year. So it's normal. So what the regulators learn, at least during the last few years, that there is a huge gap between what is the market and what is the current regulatory status, regulatory framework. So, and they are hurry up in order to catch up with this. And I hope, and I'm working a lot with regulators in order to prevent that they size down innovation or stifle innovation because they don't understand. I hope and I help them to understand innovation, financial innovations, in order to embrace them and to empower themselves with new extra tools, because innovation, technological innovation can also empower regulators to monitor better the economy as well, or the financial market as well. So I'm more positive on that respect. I don't think they will close down or they will prevent ICO in the future. They will maybe try to regulate them, but yes, I think that as they didn't try to close down Bitcoin, they tried to regulate a little bit, but the US experiment with the bit license was not a great success, so they learned from them, and now I don't think they will repeat the same mistake.
Mika?
To add on to that thought of Paolo and the previous speakers, from what I've learned from my projects is two things. You have to pay very close attention to your own products or services or project's governance model. You have to make it as transparent as possible and simple as possible. And the second point is you have to work with the regulative authorities. You have to present them or educate them. You have to present them with alternatives and options and see how you can create maximum value for them too. If you fail to do either one of these, you just can't have a very bright or long future with your product or service. It just doesn't work like that. Disruption and innovation aside, everything we do has to find a home in an established world. We can't create our own space, no matter how magic blockchain is. We have to make root in the real world. And that has to do with things like governance and regulation.
I think it all depends on us, actually, on the projects who are doing ICOs now. So if we are there just for the money and we don't care about what we're going to do with the money, sooner or later, governments all over the world will come and will just ban it and we'll have problems. So that's what happened to stock market in US. That's why we have those very strict security laws all over the world, because there have been problems and people were hurt, and so there are also very many bad things. So it all depends on the community. If we are doing it responsibly, if we are using the money that we raise for delivering actual products, it's all going to be good. Otherwise, we'll have problems. So guys, it all depends on you, actually.
Right.
I can add some points,
please.
if you don't mind. I know one gentleman. He is working now on a fintech and venture business, but he's come from distressed assets management. So it's very unusual, I would say. And I see many of the traditional bankers, corporate bankers, people who's working with distressed assets are moving to the digital. I do believe that this movement and these people will bring new skill set and independent skill set to ICO process. And the process will get, I would say, professional qualification for the value management, because unfortunately, but IT guys and the people who are doing the products, they are not have enough skill set to value the end product to the customer. So, and these people who will come for the corporate finance side, they will bring additional assurance to the investors. I do believe this will increase the popularity of ICOs, and they will move from this current idea of the hype to the idea of the regular business.
All right. Thank you guys very much. Let's give you guys a warm hand of applause. Thank you for being here. So, it's been a long day, and I want to say a few words. This is a conference I don't know if you guys know this, but the idea for the conference was born like just a few weeks ago. So it's put together by people who are passionate about blockchain and want to help you guys really change something here. So I want to give you a bit of a history of one conference we know in Finland. Who knows Slush? Yeah, one person knows Slush. Okay, usually in startup world, at least most people do. But Slush is now about 20,000 people conference. About 6 years ago, it was nothing. It was smaller than this room, right? When they started, my team was there. Arctic startup, one of my co-founders, he was also a co-founder of Slush. There was nobody, it was 150 people. Or 200, something like that. It was in a small auditorium. There was nothing. You guys have the privilege of having cameras and equipment and nice food and a lot of cool things. When Slush was started, there was nothing. But what they did have, which I think is very cool similar with this conference, is they wanted to be different. Everybody at that time in Finland and anywhere in the world, they were like, hey, we want to be the next Silicon Valley. We want to try to make, Estonia, Finland, Sweden, whatever. We want to be the next Silicon Valley. And what Slush did, and what I really respect about these guys, is they said, well, no, we're Finland. It's in November, it's dark, it's muddy, it's slushy, nobody wants to come here. So we're going to call our conference Slush, and we're going to make the whole world come there. Right now, everybody comes there. Chris, Saka, Taja-san, everybody. It's a conference everybody wants to go to, and it's not even my conference, so I'm still promoting it. We're kind of competitors, so I'm really happy that I can do that. And what was really cool about them is they recognized their strengths, right? They said cool things about Finland, and they knew they're never going to be Silicon Valley. And that really attracted them. And I think it's very similar with this conference. It's small, put together really quickly by passionate people who were able to attract speakers and fly them from different parts of the world. Not a lot of speakers, but still cool people in the industry. And they have a different name from every other blockchain conference. When I was coming here, I was trying to educate myself, and I went to blockchain conference. Every single one of them literally goes like blockchain this, blockchain that, blockchain this, blockchain that. And that will never attract people from another industry. That will never attract people that care about things and want to change the world, right? And I really believe in this cross-industry thing. So I really think you guys have something here, even though it was small, it was the first time. We had some fun in the morning with the schedule, but things were fun, right? And you guys were kind of the founders of this, so remember that. And I think next time when this happens, it's going to be much bigger, much better. It might not even be in this country, who knows where it goes. But I really think this is the start of something really cool. But a message from me to all of you guys is attract people from the outside the industry. Attract people who know nothing about blockchain. Attract people who want to build containers, who want to build cars, refrigerators, who want to build real things. Because I think then you will be onto something. Like Elon Musk keeps saying, that the reason he's successful is because he takes things from 2 or 3 different industries and he combines them, right? Like nobody can do except him. So I really believe that if you guys can do that, and if you guys can do this, then blockchain really will be the future. But if you close up and just talk about blockchain with blockchain people, then it will be the hype and it will be a bubble that will burst. So with that, I want to end the conference and thank all the speakers, everybody, the organizers, people behind the screen, all the volunteers here, right? They all did an amazing job. They tried to make you comfortable. Everybody who was here made this conference a real success. So thank you all very much. All right. And hopefully we can still network a bit and I can maybe meet some people too. All right. Thank you guys.